Thank you. President Gray, Board Chair Suzanne Smith-Whitmore, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty, proud, beaming parents, families, and friends, and awesome class of 2012. It is truly a pleasure and honor to be here with you today. Thank you all for the very warm welcome home to Hollins. The world you are going into is perhaps more complex than the one I faced in 1985, but also full of opportunity and possibility, and I am so thrilled for you. I have chosen to talk to you today about discovery. Not exploration, not even adventure, but discovery. Webster's defines discovery as the act of revealing. To discover is to be the first to find out, to see, or to know about, to realize. It is about making connections. Discovery. What did you discover your first year at Hollins? Probably for many of you the first time living away from home. What have you discovered over your 4 years at Hollins, or as a Horizon student, or in your graduate study at Hollins? As I toiled over what to say to you, I wondered what connections an alum from the class of 1985 would have with the graduating class of 2012, some 27 years apart. So I set upon a mini journey to discover some things about the class of 2012. Your class was deemed overachievers when you were freshmen by the senior class of 2009. And you lived that reputation when you had the most participants ever in attendance for ring night festivities. You are active in Hollins traditions, from the Battle of the Bins to First Step to Tinker Days and to HDP parties, I understand. You were first-time voters during the Obama election, and you worried about college during a recession. 59 of you participated in Hollins Abroad programs. 71 of you are graduating with master's degrees, and I applaud the deepening of your knowledge. And 20 Horizon graduates have demonstrated that education is not age or time dependent and have so enriched this campus. And you have 13 legacy graduates here today, 2 of whom are daughters of my own 1985 classmates. You are indeed a very impressive group. But let's face it, in 1985, we had the Go-Go's, and now you have Gaga. We had typewriters and brand new IBM PCs, and now you have touchscreen smartphones and iPads. We drank Tab, and you drink Starbucks. In 1984, my class saw the first woman run as vice president, Congresswoman Geraldine Ferraro. And your class saw the election of the very first African-American president, Barack Obama. My, what a span of time. So where was our connection? And then, just 4 weeks ago, on April 17th in Washington, D.C., something remarkable happened. At about 10:30 a.m. came this very loud, roaring sound. Look up, there she goes. There was the Space Shuttle Discovery aboard a 747 jet, slowly rising around D.C. This was Discovery's final flight to her new permanent home at the Udvar Hazy Center of the Smithsonian near Dulles Airport. She was not all polished or shiny, but rather visibly showing her age, her scars from many years of space exploration, and she was magnificent. And then I remembered the brand new Space Shuttle Discovery, when she was all shiny, bright white, American flag on the side, astronauts waving. For her maiden voyage, her launch was the week my senior class returned to Hollins for our last year in 1984. What a thrill that first launch was. So over Discovery's 27 years of service, she accomplished many firsts, justly earning her name. She was flown by the first female spacecraft pilot past the Russian space station Mir. She carried the first African-American commander, and she deployed the first Hubble Space Telescope. In all, she's been the longest-serving space shuttle, and she spanned the time between my senior year and your senior year. So that's our special connection, Discovery. So sit back, as I now want to share with you about 20 stories of my own discoveries. That's a joke, I'm only kidding. I got 4 short stories to share. So discovery number 1, show gratitude. It makes for a richer life. Today is a day of gratitude. Thank all the people that helped you get here, the people who nurtured you and taught you, who paid your Hollins charge cards, and who cheered you on. I want to start by showing my own gratitude. First, to those of you who invited me here to share this very special occasion with you. It gave me reason to lose lots and lots of sleep and totally stress out for months. Only kidding. Seriously. Well, no, not really. I really was stressed out. But really, you have given me the opportunity to reflect upon my own journey since graduating from Hollins. And in our busy lives, we just don't take enough time to do that. So thank you. I'm grateful to my parents, Paula and Tom, my husband, Michael, who is a Hollins MALS, by the way, my children, Miles and Nicole, and my many friends. I would not be who I am or where I am without all of you. Graduates, look out into the audience. Find the people who have helped you get to your seat here today. Your parents, your grandparents, your guardians, your partners, your family, your friends, your faculty, your administration. And please take a moment to applaud and show gratitude to all of them. We are also grateful to the leadership of Hollins, from founders Charles Lewis Koch through to our president, Gray, today, and the many members of the board. This wonderful special school never stops growing. We sit in the shades of buildings made from handmade bricks in the 1800s, under the shade of trees planted long, long ago. Do you realize that Charles Koch was only 19 years old in 1839 when he wrote to a friend that he would devote his life to the education of women? How cool is that? And we are all here together today because of the dreams and commitments of those who have come before us. So we must give thanks and show gratitude to those that made it possible for us to be here today. It costs nothing to be grateful and show it, and it goes a long way. Discovery number 2, plan, prepare, work hard, and work really, really, really hard, and remain open. Because the element of the unexpected is where you just might find genuine, unimaginable discovery. Nobel Prize-winning biochemist who discovered vitamin C, Albert Szent-Györgyi, said, "A discovery is said to be an accident meeting a prepared mind." I did not come to Hollins in the traditional way. My first choice, my big plan, my dream was to go to Connecticut College, and so I did. You see, my mother, that summer, Paula Brownlee, became the president of Hollins. The whole family saw Hollins as a beautiful campus, a wonderful place. But there was no way I was going to go to school where my mother was going to be president. That would be just too weird. And talk about too close to home, right? So I just said, no, I'm going to my Connecticut college, even though this was a beautiful place. But then life threw that curveball at me, and I got sick. I got really, really sick my freshman year with an illness that would end up requiring numerous hospitalizations and ultimately multiple surgeries. My plan, though, my big plan. I had to stay home to recuperate, which was now the president's house on the hill. But recuperation was too slow, and I was too stubborn to give up, so I crawled out of bed once a day and took a few courses at Hollins as a temporary means until I could return to my Connecticut college. I was in denial. I did not open up myself to Hollins, never a woman's college for this 18-year-old. Any of you say that at one time? Probably. But this special Hollins community embraced me. I began to know the faculty, the students, the riding program, and as they say, the rest is history. I finally opened up myself to Hollins. I let go of my original plan and discovered what it meant to be a part of Hollins and never looked back. I transferred permanently my sophomore year, finally able to live in the dorms and be a normal college student. Well, pretty normal. My roommates and I did get to take our laundry up to the president's house. Right, Nettie? I have no doubt that Hollins was where I was meant to be and helped me discover who I am. So plan away, work really, really hard, but always stay open to the unexpected, even those curveballs that life will throw at you. That is when amazing things happen, resulting in real discovery. Discovery number 3, know and keep your real friends forever. Marlene Dietrich once said, "It is the friends that you can call up at 4 a.m. that matter." Look around you. Your Hollins friends will be friends for life. Just as I look over at Linda and Colette, my dear, dear Hollins friends, I promise you, the Facebook definition of friend is not real. Your Hollins friends are the real deal. The ones you will call in the best of times and in the worst of times. And when you come back for your 25th year reunion in 2037, you will feel like you entered a time warp right back here to 2012 with these friends. These friends know you. They will give you courage when it is your time to take a leap of faith, and when your own self-confidence may wane. In 1993, I was offered a job with the FBI as their first industrial psychologist. I doubted whether I could do it. A young woman of 29, only 2 years out of graduate school, going to a very male-dominated, traditional, huge law enforcement agency. So I called Linda. You remember this, sister? I called her and I said, "What was I thinking? How could I do this?" And she said, "Liz, you can do it. You have to do it. This is great, and you will be great." And then I called Dr. Flory, my awesome, wonderful Hollins psychology advisor. Should I go to this place that doesn't have other industrial psychologists? What if I don't know enough? And Dr. Flory said, "Liz, of course you know enough. There's no one better. You will apply your psychology to an agency who probably really needs it." And needs a woman too, probably, right, in that leadership position. And then he wisely asked me 2 things. First, what is the worst that can happen? I said, I won't like it, I don't do well, might have to find another job. Okay, and then he said, what is the best thing that could happen? And I said, I could be the first IO psychologist at the FBI. How cool. So I took my first leap of faith. I took the job. It wasn't easy, but it was one of the best decisions of my life. I loved my work at the FBI. I loved the mission and the people, and I had amazing opportunities. These are real friends who only have your best interest in mind. No hidden agendas, no personal gains. Know who your friends are and turn to them, even at 4 a.m. in the morning, because they will encourage you and sometimes give you the courage you need to take your own leaps of faith. Last one, discovery number 4. You will not know what you are capable of until you take on the very toughest task, in fact, the impossible. On September 2nd, 2001, my twins, Miles and Nicole, turned 2 years old. I had left the demands of being a unit chief at the FBI a year earlier to better balance motherhood and career. And I was working at the Skills Standards Board of the Labor Department. And then, just a week later, 9/11 hit. My office was 3 blocks from the White House, and we watched in horror as the smoke rose from the Pentagon across the river. I worried about my family and my friends and my country. Even today, it feels like yesterday for me. I thought, what could I do? On November 19th, Congress passed a law creating the new Transportation Security Administration, which required all security screening be taken over by the government. I wrote a proposal on how we could apply the skills methodology from my agency to the hiring of all these new screeners. And within a few days, I was selected as one of the first feds to help stand up TSA in January, to develop the new standards and hire them. I saw the best come out in our country: partnerships, compassion, innovation, and sheer willpower. I helped stand up an agency starting with a cell phone and a blank piece of paper. We rolled across the country and federalized those 430 airports, tested over 2 million applicants, and hired 55,000 screeners, all in less than a year. And as they say, the nation's largest civilian mobilization in history. How do you accomplish something like that? How did I accomplish something like that? I had 2-year-old twins. It did take courage and competence, but something else. I was able to do it because I married my love of my life partner, Michael. I did not think it could be done, and we were all fearful of more attacks. I think I was really just wanted to move my family out of Washington. But he knows me. He knew this was a calling for me, and he said, "Your country needs you, and we'll make it work." And he held down the home front and made it possible for me to be a part of history. We secured our homeland and got people flying again and saw the economy turn around against all odds. But make no mistake, there are thousands of men and women making sacrifices every day to keep our country safe in this post-9/11 world, and I am proud to be a part of that. There is nothing like taking on the toughest task and surviving, indeed thriving. It engages your mind, and a sense of purpose fills your heart. When you learn you can do something you don't think you can grow and discover yourself. And if you choose to share your life with someone, be sure that someone is like my Michael, always there to support you being the very best you can be when you take on that tough, impossible task. So in summary, be grateful and show it. Plan, prepare, work really hard, and be open to the unexpected in life. Know and keep your real friends forever, and do what's hardest, even something you don't think you can do. I know the job market is really tough, and it's really hard to get into graduate school. You're going to be challenged no matter what direction you're taking. But graduates, you're going to have to be creative and have some courage and have to maybe take that job that's number 10 on your list just to get your resume built. You might have to volunteer or be an intern just to start getting some experience in the field you want to work in. You might have to take graduate courses part-time while you work. Or you might have to work for your family or a friend or an alum, anyone you can connect with, just to get started, but go do it. Oh, and for those of you who might be going home to live with your parents, you could pay some rent, or at least start showing some of that gratitude I talked about. And so, welcome to the grand finale of your Hollins degree, undergraduate and graduate. As you settle into your next chapter, whatever it is, keep discovering. And I mean discovering, not just exploring. My own discoveries range from the time I sit with my family at the dinner table to the time I'm sitting at the board table with executives from 16 intelligence agencies. So I promise you, the world needs you and all of your discoveries, be them personal or profoundly influential. Like our space shuttle Discovery, her mission continues. From her new home, she is educating and inspiring future generations who need only start with a dream. Perhaps one day you will take your own children or grandchildren to see the Space Shuttle Discovery, a grand symbol that your Hollins graduation speaker once used so that you could remember today, your connection with yesterday, and your own journey of discovery that must never end. In closing, you are awesome. Even better, you are Hollins awesome. Yes! And as you leave those Hollins gates today, know that the Hollins community of the past, the present, and the future believe in you. A final quote from Vijay Krishna: "The essence of living is discovering. Indeed, it is the joy of discovery that makes life worth the effort." Class of 2012, to every one of you, you are Hollins graduates, and you can do anything. I wish for you a life ahead full of continuous discovery. Thank you and congratulations.
Since graduating from Hollins in 1985, you have ably served your nation and your alma mater with intelligence, perseverance, originality, and integrity. You have been a pioneer, becoming the Federal Bureau of Investigation's first Chief of Personnel Assessment and first ever industrial organizational psychologist in 1993, and going on to spearhead several landmark projects that enhance competency, diversity, and career development within the Bureau. Subsequently, as a senior director with the National Skill Standards Board, You led the development of a voluntary national system of standards, assessments, and certifications for a wide range of industries. After September 11th of 2001, you felt a profound calling to help your fellow Americans in a time of crisis and played an essential role in making the mission of the Transportation Security Administration a reality. You earned Innovation and Leadership Awards for your work at TSA and have been recognized by the Society of Industrial and Organizational Psychology and the International Personnel Management Association. Today, you are continuing to have a transformative impact on national security and in your important role with the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Your many valuable contributions include serving as co-leader of the White House commissioned National Cybersecurity Workforce Initiative. You supplement your career accomplishments by volunteering your expertise on both a professional and personal level. You currently serve on the editorial board of the Society of Industrial Organizational Psychology's Professional Practice Publication Series, and with the Society's Certification Task Force. You serve as a member of the Board of Directors of Worldwide Assurance for Employees of Public Agencies. You are also a past president of the Board of Trustees of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America, Greater Washington, D.C. chapter. You have generously worked on behalf of Hollins as an alumni reporter and recruiter, and in 2010, you deservedly received the Distinguished Alumni Award. At the same time, you are resolute in your devotion to your husband, Michael, and your son and daughter, Miles and Nicole. Today, Elizabeth Brownlee Kolmstetter, in recognition of your achievements, Hollins University is privileged to bestow upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Joining us at the podium is Dr. Paula Brownlee, your mother, and former Hollins University president.